Every January, somebody sells you the same lie. This year, you just need more discipline. And you believe it, because it sounds true, because it feels like it should be true, because the idea that your financial problems are just a character flaw fixable by sheer willpower is easier to accept than the alternative. The alternative is scarier, and it's what nobody in the personal finance world has the incentive to say out loud. You've done the budgets, downloaded the apps, made the color-coded spreadsheet at midnight with actual intentions. And by the third week of January, sometimes February if it's a good year, you're staring at a bank account that somehow keeps shrinking even while you're paying attention. Here's what the entire financial planning industry will never tell you, because there's no course to sell around it, no app to monetize. Your failure has almost nothing to do with your character. It has everything to do with your hardware. There's a concept neuroscientists have understood for decades that the personal finance world has near zero incentive to share with you. It's called decision fatigue. And every single day you don't understand how it works inside your brain, it's not eventually costing you. It's costing you tonight, in the next 3 hours. Because while you're at your desk trying to be a responsible adult, something quiet and relentless is happening. Your brain is running out of fuel. Researchers estimate the average adult makes roughly 35,000 decisions per day. Not big decisions, any decision. What to eat, what to wear, how to phrase a work email, whether to engage with the passive-aggressive Slack message from your manager. These don't feel like decisions, but your brain doesn't care what they feel like. Each one costs something. Not money, though that comes later. Energy. Specifically, the metabolic cognitive energy that lives in the same neural real estate responsible for self-control, long-term thinking, and financial planning. Think of your willpower as a phone battery. You wake up at 100%. By 10 a.m., you've already burned through roughly 15%, just getting ready, commuting, and answering the first barrage of emails. By noon, you're hovering around 60%. The meetings, the deadlines, the mild existential dread of fluorescent office lighting, all of it counts. By 5 p.m., you're at 30%. Your brain has quietly shifted gears. It's no longer in decision mode. It's in survival mode. By 7 p.m., when you collapse onto the couch, still in your work clothes, vaguely hungry, you're at 8%. That blinking red low battery warning. And here's the part that should genuinely make you angry. There is an entire industry, designed by some of the most sophisticated behavioral scientists and data engineers on the planet, that has been watching your battery level all day, patiently, specifically waiting for that 8% moment. The DoorDash push notification doesn't hit at 9 a.m. when you're sharp and intentional. It hits at 6:47 p.m. The Amazon email about a limited time deal isn't scheduled for 8 a.m. when your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for impulse control, financial planning, and understanding consequences, is fully online. It's timed for 7:30 p.m. when that same brain region has essentially submitted its resignation for the day. This isn't coincidence. It's strategy. The kind of strategy built on years of behavioral data and billions in research investment. The advertising algorithms know, with uncomfortable precision, when the average American worker hits their lowest point of cognitive load. They've mapped your battery, and they aim for 8% like a guided missile. So when someone tells you that you just need more financial discipline, what they're really saying is, fight a billion-dollar industry with a phone that's about to die. That's not a financial plan, that's a prayer. Here is what almost nobody in this space ever asks. Do the people who actually build net worth quietly, consistently, without talking about it at dinner parties? Do they genuinely have more willpower than you? Better character? Stronger moral fiber? The research says no. A landmark Stanford study found that people with the strongest financial outcomes weren't better at resisting temptation. They were better at avoiding situations where temptation had access to them. They didn't out-discipline their biology. They designed their environment so that biology rarely had to be involved in financial decisions at all. They automated their choices while their battery was still charged. They didn't fight the 8% battle. They ended it before it started. Think about what this means for your financial planning right now. At 100% battery, you are entirely capable of making excellent money decisions. You can open a high-yield savings account. You can set up an automatic transfer that moves a fixed amount the moment your paycheck lands. You can delete the shopping apps. You can configure automatic investment contributions to your retirement fund. These are one-time decisions. Once made, they require zero cognitive load going forward. Zero battery. They run in the background like a thermostat, regulating the temperature while you're busy being a human being. But most people never make those decisions from a full battery. They make them reactively, when they're already in financial trouble, already at 8%, already staring at debt they can't explain and wondering where January's paycheck went. And by then, the brain responsible for good decisions is the same brain that's been handling corporate politics, family logistics, and a commute that somehow gets worse every year. It has nothing left to give. The cognitive load of manually managing your finances, every day, every purchase, every should I or shouldn't I, is brutal. And it's optional. You're choosing to fight a daily war that doesn't have to be fought daily. Let's be honest about what evenings actually look like. You come home depleted. Your impulse control has filed for emergency leave. And your brain, running on what evolutionary biologists call conservation mode, defaults to whatever is easiest, most comfortable, most immediately rewarding. This is not weakness. This is 200,000 years of evolution doing exactly what it was optimized to do: conserve energy. The problem is that your brain was built for a world where the biggest financial question was whether to trade two fish for a better spear. Not for a world with 47 subscription services quietly billing you every month and a mortgage that requires quarterly review. Every night you walk into that couch with an empty magazine. That's the design flaw, and it is not yours. What people who build lasting wealth actually do, backed by decades of behavioral economics research, is build what's called a choice architecture, a deliberately designed system that removes the financial decision from your hands before your battery dies. Here is what that looks like, stripped to the simplest possible level. First, automate your savings before you ever see the money. Not "I'll transfer what's left at the end of the month." Automatic. The moment your paycheck clears, a fixed percentage moves to a savings account, an investment account, a retirement fund. It never enters your spending world. Your brain never gets to negotiate with it because it was never there to negotiate. Second, pre-configure your financial environment from strength, not desperation. During high battery hours, mornings, weekends, remove the friction points that cost you money at 8%. Delete stored card numbers from one-click checkout. Turn off retail push notifications. Make the impulsive path slightly harder and the automatic path frictionless. A 30-second delay between desire and action is often enough to interrupt the autopilot entirely. Third, use neuroplasticity in your favor. Every time the automated system makes a financial decision for you without your involvement, it reinforces a new neural pattern. Over time, the automation trains your brain to expect and prefer the disciplined outcome. You stop experiencing financial discipline as something you do. You start experiencing financial security as something that simply exists. The investment strategy runs. The passive income compounds. The debt consolidation executes. Not because you're fighting yourself every night, because you built a system that fights for you while you sleep. The shift that actually changes someone's financial life isn't a new level of discipline. It's a new relationship with their own cognitive limitations. Your battery will drain tomorrow, every day, without exception. This isn't a problem to solve, it's a biological fact to design around. But an automated financial system doesn't care about your battery level. It doesn't know you're tired. It doesn't respond to advertising. It doesn't get hungry and impulse buy at 7 p.m. It just runs. It moves money, builds net worth, executes the investment strategy you set when you were sharp, while you're busy doing the very human thing of being absolutely exhausted. You stop being someone who fights a daily war against their own impulses. You become someone who built the fortress before the battle showed up. Here's an uncomfortable question to sit with tonight. If tomorrow you woke up and your finances were running completely automatically, savings moving without you, investments funded without you, debt being paid down without you, how much of your daily low-grade financial anxiety would simply disappear? Most people never find out, because every day they spend their best mental energy trying to manually manage what a simple automated system could handle permanently. Your battery is going to drain tomorrow. That's biology. That's unavoidable. The only real question is whether your financial future is sitting on the other side of a willpower battle you were never designed to win, or whether it's already taken care of, running in the background, quietly building while you sleep. Set up the system, set it once, let it run. The phone still hits 8%. It just doesn't need to be awake to keep your money safe.